Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. How are we all doing on this Thursday morning? This is Reganelite here. Hello, everyone. How you guys doing? Welcome to Good Morning with myself, Reganelite, here on Thursday, the 12th of March, 2026, where we go roughly for about an hour long here. What we do on this live stream, for those who are new to this, we give the daily quote of the day, which I will show in a moment. We'll have a look at the weather forecast for the next few days, and then we'll have a look at the news. Today we're going to be looking at UK news specifically. We're going to be looking starting from the Telegraph, the Times, the Financial Times, the iPaper, Independent, BBC, and so forth. And we cover and have a look and see what the stories they have in the headlines for the next hour here. So let's and also, just for reference as well, we are dual streaming not just on youtube.com/ReganElite, where most of the community is. We also have our live streaming on twitch.tv/ReganElite1. So if you are on Twitch, feel free to come and say hello on that platform as well. And I haven't put the chat up for it there, so I'm just putting that up there for reference as well. I should also just like to remind people as well, and I'll remind people later on, is that there'll be a live stream tonight, myself, One Angry Pagan, with the Eco Flake Show. So if you can join us for that, feel free to do so. So for those who don't know what the Eco Flake Show is, what we do is we talk specifically about green energy news, whether it's the climate change, whether it's rising sea levels, whether it is about nature, wildlife, all that kind of stuff, guys. So all those topics, mainly we do UK, but sometimes we'll do global ones as well there. But it is a subject that it doesn't really get talked enough about by the mainstream media. So me and Pagan do this once a month for you guys here on this channel. And if you're not a subscriber to One Angry Pagan's YouTube channel, do check out his work as well. Links for him and a lot of other wonderful YouTubers are in the description of this live stream. Let's see who we got in the chat this morning here. Ellie, good morning to you. Hope you are doing well. First person to say hello. I think Billy Kershaw was the first person. Yes, Billy Kershaw there was the first person there. But you're second, so thank you so much there. Hope you are doing well. Scott Hayes, good morning to you. Hope you are doing well. Good to see you there as well. Mel, good morning to you. Fellow Ducky, hope you are doing well. Good morning, Doc Davis there as well. Oh, I'll come to that in just a moment. And Viper Scott, good morning to you, my friend. Hope you are doing well. Thank you so much for the 10 gifted memberships there. Thank you. That's very, very generous of you, my friend. I hope you get a chance to catch up on last night's live stream. I know you wasn't there, but it was a very good it was a long one. It was a long one indeed there. But yeah, thank you so much for the 10 gifted memberships. That's extremely generous of you. Thank you. He's given 10. So the people being gifted memberships is the Mega Husky, Liz Allen, In the Tune Trader, Kevin Robb, Random Scottish History. Hey, I know that person. Hecate, Nanny Irene, Derek Crew, Boris Dynamo, and Tez Down 24 have all been gifted memberships there. Is that 10 just for reference? Because we want to make sure that it is actually 10 members were gifted as well. So because in the past what we have sometimes, the way the membership wouldn't always proceed there. So it looks like it's gone through just fine there. Thank you so much, Vibe Scott, for the very generous of you there. I appreciate that. Weebad, good morning to you as well. Hope you are doing well. Right, guys, let's get started. Let's start with today's daily quote. What have we got for today's daily quote here? By the way, if you guys want one of your own daily quota, you can get it at littlepennythoughts.com. Link for it is in the description if you guys want the one of your own. They don't just do daily quotes. They do like funny ones, or like a jokey one, the joke of the day. So there's all sorts of different ones you guys can check. And it's just have a look on the website and see for yourself here. So here is. And I always show it to the camera because I don't make them up. But if you want to know ones that I do make up myself, you can check out on my Instagram page. I have a non-political Instagram page you guys can check out if you're interested, if you use Instagram at all. It's Instagram.com/Reganelite. I have quite a few different Instagram accounts, but just that one specifically there, I just do every day. I do post a daily quote, and I always post quite a few different stuff on the stories every day as well. If you guys fancy different quotations as well. So today's one is, life isn't as serious as the mind makes it out to be. Life isn't as serious as the mind makes it out to be. That is true. The mind does, you know, your mind, really does play on you. That's for sure. Eckhard Tolle, I think if I've pronounced the name right, I think is the name of today's daily quota there. But yeah, if you do like these daily quotes and you like seeing more of them, do check out the Instagram, my Instagram page there. Theodore Roosevelt with tomorrow's daily quote, guys. Theodore Roosevelt for tomorrow's daily quote. If you want to know what that is, you'll have to wait till tomorrow. Right, let's have a look and see what's going on with the weather today, guys. Shall we have a look at the weather there? Mikey Famine, good morning to you. Hope you are doing well, my friend, in the beautiful city of Chicago. Mandy, good morning to you. Hope you are doing well. Barbara, good morning to you. Hope you are doing well there. Dizzy as well, I can see there in the chat as well, and anybody else who's maybe lurking. Hope you guys are all doing well. Right, let's have a quick run through of the weather. It's set, for reference, people are wondering what I'm using. I'm using the bbc.co.uk/weather map. It is being set at Thursday, 6 p.m. UK time for reference here. Let's have a look at the weather around the world. We're going to start with North America here. Definitely, like, there will come a day, guys, where I will go to Yellowknife. I will go there one day, guys. One day, I am going to go there. And it's going to be a fascinating experience, shall we say. -25 it is today, with Churchill at -19 and Anchorage there -20. Winnipeg -3, of Vancouver at 6. Ottawa -3 there. Our friend Mikey Famine in Chicago, 6 degrees. They're expecting later on. New York 6, Nashville 10, New Orleans 16 there, Denver 18, San Francisco 16. San Diego a bit warmer at 23 degrees, and a toasty Miami at very warm 30 degrees. Kingston there at 29, Mexico City 17, San Jose at 28 degrees. Going a bit further down into the South American continent here, we have temperatures as high as 32 with some as low as 13, with a fair share of tropical rainstorms you can see there. The capital Rio de Janeiro of Brazil at 25 degrees there respectfully. Crossing over into Africa, here we got Addis Ababa at 17 there, Lagos 29, Kinshasa at 13 there, Cape Town at 25. They've got a bit of rain down a bit south of the continent, but most of it is normally dry, unfortunately, there. Going a bit further over, we'll have a look at New Zealand here, Auckland and Wellington 21 and 17 respectfully there. We've got some shower storms they've got there on the islands there. Australia here, they've got Darwin at 27 and Melbourne at 14, Brisbane 23, Perth 18, with a bit of rain on the south of the island and a bit on the north there. I'd say it's an island. It's quite a big chunk of land, to be fair. Singapore 26 there. Philippines capital is at 24 as well, with Bangkok at 28. Taiwan's island, its capital at 13 there. Shanghai on the Chinese coast sitting on 6 degrees. While the capital of Japan, Tokyo, sits at 4 degrees, very cold. Same with Chinese's capital, Beijing, at 4 degrees respectfully there. Going a bit further over into New Delhi, it's quite warm there at 23 degrees. Most of the India, you can see temperatures as high as 25, 27 in a bit lower parts of the country. Crossing over to the Middle East, where things are very, very warm for the wrong reasons. Tehran 10 degrees, Baghdad 19, Kuwait City 18, Riyadh 20, Cairo 18 there. Port Sudan and Khartoum 24 and 30 respectfully there, with the ongoing terrible civil wars taking place still there as well. Before we come to Europe, you can see this big thick snowstorm that's descending over our friends over in Iceland at 0 degrees there. Not very ideal for them there. Let's have a look at temperatures in Europe, starting with Madrid there at 16, Lisbon there at 17 respectfully there. Dry day for them down there on the south or west of Europe, with Tripoli at 16, Tunis 15, Algiers 13 on the North African continent. Parmelo 13, Rome 12, the south of France, Nice sitting at 14 degrees, with Bern there in the Swiss Alps, a nice 8 degrees. Not too cold for them, bit different there to be fair. And the beautiful city of Paris is sitting at 11 degrees today. Going a bit further over to the Eastern European continent, Athens there at 15, Istanbul a bit colder at 8 degrees, Taria sitting at 13 there. Got Bucharest at 7 there, Chistu at 8, Zagreb at 12, Vienna 13, Prague 9. Germany's capital sitting at 10 degrees, while Poland's capital sitting at 10 as well. And Ukraine is sitting at 8 degrees. Temperature's a lot better for them than it was in the past there. Of course, our thoughts and prayers with the conflict continuously taking place there. Volgograd sitting at 3 degrees, while Moscow's a chilly 4, but it is a dry spell for them in the Russian capital there. Riyadh at 7, St. Petersburg at 7 degrees, and Oslo there sitting at 5 degrees respectfully. Let's have a look at today. This is what we are forecasting today here. So this is what is forecast within the next hour. Some of you guys might be experiencing that rain already if you're living in Scotland, in parts of Wales and northern England. Where I am right now, I'm getting away with it because I'm in London. But a bit later on, we'll start to get it. We can see there is supposed to be some snow forecast in the Highlands in Scotland there. So just be aware of that. But if I push it a bit further on to later on in the day, these are what we're expecting here. Some of that snow and rain is still going to be expected around Scotland, as well as northern parts of England, in some of the Midlands there, as well as parts of Wales. Even on the southwest of England, there might be some shades of rain coming through as well. If I push it to Thursday night, this is the temperatures we're expecting as well. That rain is still down there, down the Midlands there. But that snow it's not going away in parts of Scotland there. I wonder what the temperatures are going to be like here. Let's have a quick look here. We'll just pull back and see what the temperatures are forecasting here. Yeah, so it looks like temperatures as low as 1 degrees in some parts there. 3, 5 in some parts there. Dundee 3, Oban 4 there. Bridgend there 4. Yeah, so temperatures are going to be very, very cold for tonight in Scotland there. We can see just from those temperatures there, just having a little bit of a gauge of what those temperatures are going to be like there. If I go overnight, this is what they're predicting here. You can see again London getting away with it. It's not going to be too bad for them there, but Cardiff and Manchester 6 and 5 degrees respectively. Belfast and Dublin 3, with Edinburgh sitting at 2 degrees, and parts of northern Scotland there looks like it's going to be showered with buckets of snow there, so just be cautious of that. Yeah, so it's going to be very, very cold. Very, very cold March for people in Scotland, and there's even going to be some in Northern Ireland and Ireland respectively there, and there might be some shades of snow dropping in the southern Scotland as well as northern parts of England there. How much of that settles remains to be seen there, but that's what we're expecting overnight, Thursday night into Friday morning. This is the temperatures we're expecting Friday morning. Going to be very cold indeed. London getting away with it again at 7 degrees, with Cardiff 5, Manchester 4, Dublin 4, Belfast and Edinburgh 3 respectively there. But scrolling a bit further on, we're going to lunchtime here. Lots of that is supposed to be dissipating there. The temperatures are picking up again, back up to 7, 8 degrees in some parts. There is going to be cast bits of showers tomorrow, but it's not going to be too bad. And it looks like there is still some of that snow is going to be there, but it's slowly dissipating there because of the increase in temperatures, more specifically there. There is going to be some scattered showers here and there around. There'll be some scattered showers around parts of Scotland and parts of England in the north in particular. There will be some around Wales as well, perhaps even some snow settling on the higher mountains in some of the parts of Wales there. And there will be some of those scattered showers as well in Northern Ireland and Ireland respectively there. Those temperatures are still staying very cold. And Friday night, temperatures 5 and 4 degrees is what we're looking like here. And it looks like that snow is going to come back again for Friday night. This is what they're forecasting overnight. So going to be very cold for literally everyone. London is not getting away with it this time here. You can see those temperatures dropping for them just as much as everyone else. Friday night, overnight into Saturday morning. And we can see here temperatures 3 and 4 degrees. So it is going to be a very cold Friday night here, going into early Saturday morning. Some dropping as low as 2. And we can see there's still some snow. It looks like it's going to be forecast to be dropping in parts of Scotland. Saturday morning looks like it's going to be dry for the rest of the UK, with the exception of Scotland there. If I scroll to a bit more to lunchtime, there is an increase in temperatures up to 9 and even 10 degrees in some parts of the UK, particularly in the south there. But temperatures are picking back up again for Saturday. How much of that snow settles again remains to be seen. I'm not sure if that's rain or snow that's looking like on the map there for Saturday evening, so take it with a pinch of salt. Just scroll a bit more further over into Sunday. We'll have a look at Sunday and then we'll stop there, see what they're expecting here. 4, 6, 7, 5, 6, 5 here. So it looks like Saturday night into Sunday morning is going to be a dry. Nope, it's not going to be dry. Okay, early Sunday morning is going to be some showers, it looks like here. So Yeah, if you're expecting a dry day on Sunday, not going to happen, guys. Sorry. Yeah, parts of Scotland going to be experiencing some rain forecast there. Going a bit further on into Sunday lunchtime. Temperatures staying around 8, 9, and 11 degrees. So it looks like temperatures going to be coming back up there. So on the looks of it there. And it looks like there's still going to be some snow coming, guys. Parts of Northern Ireland and parts of Western Northern Scotland are going to be experiencing some rain and shower mix. That's not a very good combination, as you guys know. And if I scroll a bit further on to Sunday evening there, 5, 7, 7, 9, and 11, a bit further over there. So, yeah, it looks like, it's going to be very chilly there. That snow is going to be once again. So, yeah, next couple of days is going to be quite a bit of snow. It looks like it's going to be coming around there for sure. Very frustrating indeed. So, yeah, it's going to be miserable for the next couple of days for unfortunately, guys. And even a drop in temperatures are expecting for the weekend. So, please be aware of that there, guys. I'll come to chat in just a moment. Let me just set that. Witchy Goth, did I see you there? Yes, I did. Witchy Goth, good morning to you. I hope you are doing well. Guys, make sure you check out Witchy Goth's YouTube channel if you can. Viper Scott, thank you so much for the £2 super chat. If you guys want to contribute towards today's super chat goal, you can do. Be greatly appreciated. Your comment will definitely get read out if you do. Just to keep things, just stay things all how DPR, Ollie and Quackers Fluffy. Yep, the gang is here. The gang is here, guys. For those who don't know, we have emojis of all of these guys. So this is Blaze, the Charmander. We have Quackers, one of our newest members, who we democratically the nomination was to call him Quackers. So that's where the name is. Ollie the Octopus here. We have the Foreign Secretary of McDonald's Ireland, Pingu as well. And we have Cash Dummy, the Cookie Monster there. And if you're a YouTube member, you get emojis of all these guys here as well. So if you guys want emojis of them. But the best thing about being a YouTube member is you get to see pictures of my cats every day, guys. There's always one picture dropping on the membership posts of one of my cats. That's the best thing about being a YouTube member. The chat those who are members in the chat can confirm that indeed. As well as early access to additional content as well, which is one thing I also post for people who they get early access to content as well when you're a YouTube member as well. Right, let's have a look and see what's going on in the news, guys. Let's just start here from the Telegraph. Let's see what they're saying here. Front of the Telegraph here, Iranian drone boats blow up oil tankers. That's not very good indeed. Because it's the Telegraph, I will look at a live feed, but I'm not going to do it from the Telegraph because they want my money. And trust me, my money, your money, anyone's money is not worth giving to this this newspaper, guys. Starmer ignores top aides warnings over Mandelson. We kind of covered it last night on last night's live stream, guys. It's yeah, he's really on a. Some people are calling for Starmer to go. I don't think he's going to go, guys. Even from this they deliberately and intentionally had it released after PMQs because there's more than enough time between now and the next PMQs for it to kind of fade into the background because other things are going to take place over it. And as Viper Scott pointed out, do check out the Bin Podcast Network. Link for it is in this. Link for it's been put up in the chat. If you're not a subscriber, please consider subscribing. Support the work of Mikey Famine and the team there. They do great stuff there. The weirdly rushed arrangement that made Mandelson ambassador. They got proper Northerner cuts through bland bureaucracy to nail Peter, apparently. Warwick Davis takes new girlfriend to Windsor for OBE honour ceremony there. Iran plotting a drone attack on California, apparently. How would they do that from where they are? That's an interesting take. That's a very interesting take. US takes on Iran's British-inspired minelaners in a fight for Hormuz. Trump's energy secretary warned Iran war could create an oil crisis. It already is creating an oil crisis. The price of oil could reach as high as $200 potentially, as Dave McGinnis pointed out in his chat. Could. Hasn't, but it could. Putin's secret propaganda campaign to keep Orban in power. That's a big problem as well. So, one of the biggest upcoming elections, guys, in Europe is the Hungarian elections. And Viktor Orban is desperate to hold on to power. And I don't know what the polling indicates in there. However, I would not be surprised whatsoever if Viktor Orban cheats his way to remaining in power. It would be really, really bad for Hungary if, for the people of Hungary. They've been putting up with this tyrant of a leader for so long, and they have suffered. They've not been getting the same benefits that other European nations have been EU members have been getting because of his tirade and his close links to Vladimir Putin. There's definitely things being done to ensure that Viktor Orban is kept in power. Whether he will or not, whether the election will be enough, his opponent will be able to stop it, I don't know. But there are threats of consequences if Viktor Orban doesn't remain in power. The Slovakian Prime Minister has said that he will ensure that the European Union never passes the loan grant for Ukraine if Viktor Orban is not kept in power as well. Melody criticises Trump and labels Iran's school attack a massacre. It was a massacre. In the scared border mountains of Iran, hopes of an uprising fade. There's no uprising. There's no uprising from the Iranian people. Like, I'm not seeing it anywhere. You know, you see the propagandists from US media about there's an uprising, there are people taking up arms. I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing the footage. Like, if someone wants to point it out to me, then please do. But I'm not seeing the footage. I'm just not. Any other stories here from the Telegraph? What they got here? A girl 16 text her mother goodbye. I love you before she was found dead. That's terrible. That's terrible. Child killed litter of puppies after watching social media tutorial. How does that happen? Kidney, liver, lungs, the extreme world of living organ donors. Israel strikes Hezbollah target in Beirut. Iran plotting drone attack on California. BA pilot accused of secretly filming women during sex. Oh my god. What's the matter with you, you weirdo? Trans inclusive feminism makes no sense. This TV award fast proves it. Well, the Telegraph is against trans people. We know that. Iran war is a wake-up call for Miliband, says Ratcliffe. This is their the Iran war is an argument for them to be opening up more of the North Sea oil. That's their argument because of the war. They want to give it more credibility. Say, yeah, we need to open up more oil places now in the North Sea. If we don't, we're going to die. That's literally how they're going to make it out to be. Sadiq Khan's maxed out his credibility with Londoners. Tom, you don't know what you're talking about. The guy was elected 3 times. Most university studies now use AI. Unfortunately, that is the case. BA pilot, yeah, we've seen that one. Any other stories here that we haven't seen? Polanski misled public about apology for breast enlargement claim. Why is this a story? Oh, right, because they're anti-green. Yeah, that's right. I'm gonna just put this on the record. I said this on Twitter. So they're going to change the banknotes from Churchill to be replaced by wildlife animals. Now, I just want to put this on the record. You guys know how much I love animals. I literally live with 2 cats. I'm all for doing more for our wildlife and for our environment. But don't we have more important things to be dealing with than changing the banknotes? Like, why do we need to change the banknotes? Like, and like, honestly, like, I have my differences with Churchill, obviously, understandably so, and I'm sure you guys in the chat do. But why do we need to waste money changing the face of the notes when there's, I don't know, a cost of living crisis, we're in the middle of a war? Oh yeah, why don't we do this while we got nothing else? It's not like the Labour government have got nothing else to do. Like, I'm sorry, but this is a complete joke, changing the banknotes. Like, leave it as it is. There's no need to change it, honestly. Absolute nonsense. It really, really is. We are already at war with Iran, insists Baganot's top aide. Not going to take Baggernot seriously. She's lost all credibility, and it was shown last night in the live stream. You know, she just doesn't have any credibility at all. Absolutely terrible person. What are they saying about Trans Award? I'm not sure. I can't. There's no point me clicking on it, Ellie, because it's behind a paywall, so I can't look at it. I'm afraid. Same with the Times. Their articles are behind paywalls. So, Starmark appoints Mandelson despite string of warnings. Yep. Mandelson's files exposed. Floor vetting, a general reputational risk, and £500,000 demand. Yeah. So for those who didn't see last night's live stream, Peter Mandelson in the documentations in the files, basically he had demanded £500,000. But essentially, that they essentially Peter Mandelson wanted his entire contract that he was entitled to, that he thought he was entitled to. And the government stood up and basically said no, and you're getting £75,000. That's the best you can get. Stummerson was warned about Mandelson's close ties to Epstein. Yep, we already talked about that. They've had that story for 3 bloody weeks now. When are they going to change that? Polanski doubled down on claim. I'm talking about the education secretary failing to protect free speech. That's been there for like 3 weeks now. Polanski doubled down on claiming that hypnotherapy could enlarge breasts. I am not interested in this story because this has absolutely nothing to do with politics, nothing to do with the Green Party. Like, it's a nonsense story just trying to undermine Polanski. That's all it is. That's all it is. Al Quaid's Day organizer mourns Supreme Leader more than his own father, apparently. Inflation is falling again, down to 3%. It was 3.4% in December, and it's falling down up there. Excuse me. Unemployment is rising here. The unemployment rate since 1664-year-olds is at 5.2%, but we know that the younger unemployment is much, much worse. What else they got here, just out of curiosity? Pro-Palestine march banned due to unique circumstances of the Iran war. Shabina Mahmoud insists it can go ahead as a static protest despite organisers having ties to the Iranian regime and for alleged counter-protest. Britain's biggest union donor cuts affiliation fees by 40% as General Secretary warns that members are coming for the end of the line with the party there. Fuel duty hike under review in light of Iran war, Starmer says. Yeah, so the big topic around Prime Minister's questions was fuel duty, for those who didn't see it. We kind of need to wait and see. You know, he can't make a concrete decision on fuel duty, unfortunately. That's just the reality of it, is because the markets are ever changing because of this conflict. So we do have to take that into account there. Things to do, I will catch up later. That's totally fine, Peter. Thank you so much for the very generous £5 super chat. I really appreciate that. Thank you for your support. No worries. We've all got things to do in our life. So I appreciate you popping in, and I very much appreciate the super chat there. Thank you for your support. I appreciate that. It's very kind of you. You have a good day, whatever your plans are. Appreciate that. We don't know how much digital ID would cost, Minister admits. Darren Jones, Chief Secretary to Prime Minister, said the OBR's estimate of 1.8 billion was not right, but he could not name a figure. Yeah, because they don't want to tell us how much it's going to cost, because it's not like we've got other things to be spending on. So yeah, that's frustrating indeed. Let's just have a look at the front of top story, what they just got here, just on the front page of the Times, just out of curiosity. Starmer's Human Shield takes the hit over Mandelson there. Student loan system is now deeply unfair, says Nick Clegg. What did you do when you were in coalition, Nick? Did you take any notice of the student loan system during the 5 years you got in bed with David Cameron and the Conservatives? Did you do anything about students then? Did you do anything, Nick? Anything at all? No? Are you just jumping on the bandwagon just because everyone else is? Sorry, I'm just not going to take him seriously, and you shouldn't either, guys. There we go. So this is the latest for this morning. The crude oil prices. It's right now. It's at 10th of March, 87.8 cents a barrel there at the moment. Oil price, and obviously you can see when it jumped that spike a few days ago as well. So I like that's good. I like what they've got. They've highlighted when the Ukraine war and the Gaza war and what the and how the impact has happened there as well. Interesting. Britain's flee Dubai nightmare for $5,000 a week luxury UK rentals. Scottish stories take with a pinch of salt. Police chief criticises Rangers and Celtic over fan violence. Further collapse as Union Street buildings seriously compromised there with regards to the Glasgow fire. Dog owners with 5,000 bills to surgically remove baited fishing hook, apparently. Trade union faces legal action over unlawful gender policy there as well. Prostate cancer screens prevent more deaths than previously thought. Victims of mental health violence left in the dark under the new bill. 1,000 more dentists to be hired from abroad to work for the NHS. Good. We should be hiring more to help with our NHS right now. Our NHS dentistry definitely needs help for sure. Let's have a look at the Financial Times here. That's not the Financial Times. That is the Financial Times. There it is. Let's see what they're saying here. We're going to look at the UK. We might have a look at the homepage as well, depending on time. So water takeovers are to be referred to the UK government for national security screening. So commercially available AI systems will be taken off the mandatory investment screening list to drive to cut red tape. Nationalisation is the only option. We literally saw a video last night proving how it would be beneficial to everyone if our water was nationalised. Here in England in particular. BBC faces real-term funding freeze for World Service. Yeah, this is very scary, guys. The government is in final negotiations over deals expected to set inflationary increase in funding for global news provider. I really do mean this sincerely. Like, I know the BBC has its faults, and it's been called out, and rightfully so for it. I really don't want to see a reduction in the World Service. I really want it to be maintained, and I think it really does play a crucial role across the globe for the news that it covers. I hope that it maintains. But obviously, at the end of the day, it's up to the government about how much money it gets and whatnot. Starmer is more at home in foreign policy. That is true, but a lack of strong political instances or ideology has left his government drifting. Financial fraud. Legal battle intensifies over £3 billion Bitcoin haul seized by British police here. Victims of Chinese crypto fraud fight to stop Treasury capturing the inflated value of the currency. Excuse me. MPs to examine fairness of the student loan system. Inquiry will seek views of graduates about sustainability of university financing system. It's an unfair system. It's an unfair system. It's a shit system. It's a system that drives students and youngsters away from it, from unlocking their full potential. I've said this before and I've said this again regarding student loans. The government should pay off every single loan. It should come straight out of the Treasury when it comes to paying for our children's education. There should be no expense for it. I don't care if it drives up our debt, because I'd rather build a generation of future talents that are going to lead the UK and lead other nations to a much better and more prosperous future, rather than holding them back because we're trying to balance the bloody books. Because you want to talk about balancing the books will be far better balanced if we have a far better educational system and far better educational children for the future that will be able to balance the books far better than these nincompoops who are in charge right now. It's good business how London became an energy from waste capital. FCA warned it will take action on mis-selling of second charge mortgages. The UK watchdog found examples of good practice, but also issues that raise concerns there. A Middle East war darkens the outlook for UK house prices, says survey. Surging energy prices driven by conflict, it changes expectations for interest rate cuts. There is what it's looking at. Let's have a look at the front of the FT, see what they've got here. So the oil trade closes to $100 after attacks in the Gulf. Military briefing, the closest US-Israeli war yet. Iran war causing large disruption in history to the oil supply, says the IEA. Yep. Supertankers rush to Red Sea port as Iran war chokes the Gulf oil exports. Partner groups sound alarm on private credit default rates. That's an exclusive from the FT. Morgan Stanley and Clifford limit private credit withdrawals. Ex-banks sue Industries, I hope I said that right, for 600 million over probe that led to Italian conviction. The big read from them. They got JP Morgan and Jeffrey Epstein, the long goodbye. What a surprise! JP Morgan's linked to Epstein. Who would have thought? What else they got here? Lloyd's IT glitch lets customers see other users' information. Oh, that's bad. That's very bad if you're a Lloyd's customer. That's very worrying indeed. The breakaway African state building Coca-Cola plants in Emery ports. Legal battle testified to over 3 billion Bitcoin. Yeah, we saw that. There. Just saw something. He had something fall over out in the garden because it's quite windy. I like that screenshot of the. Oh crap! Here we go again. I like that. They used that from the video game Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. That's a famous meme, that is. And they put the oil price there. I think that's very good. The AI-driven kill change transforming how the US wages war. Hezbollah isolated at home by war with Israel. Middle East energy shock revives interest in nuclear power as well. And they got some opinion pieces down there. So those are some of the stories from the Financial Times here. Let's have a look at the iPaper, see what they're saying here. I don't know if I could look, if I can get to pay, behind, I don't know if they're all behind paywalls. I'll click one or two and we'll try. Can we read this? Are you going to put a paywall in front of me? Looks like this one's okay. Partygate 2.0, Starmer faces downfall over New Manson files, MPs warn. The drip of revelations threatens to failing to undermine the Prime Minister. It's been warned that revelations over his appointment of Peter Manson could be Sparky's downfall. Yeah, we had this conversation before. The reveal. Yep, damn it. Yep, paywall. Screw you. Screw your iPaper. All the questions ministers must answer over student loans. Ministers argue Mandelson's £75,000 payout was value for money. Well, what was better, guys? The government paying out £75,000 or £500,000, which is what he demanded, and it could end up in court. That's a tough one there. I don't know who's trying to call me, but I'm not going to answer a random number right now. UK's hunter-killer submarine cuts short. Australian mission as Iran threat rises there. I'm an economist. Trump's war will hit you in the pocket for a year. The new PIP mistake making the DWP more suspicious of claimants than ever before. Yeah, just don't go after the rich and the wealthy who are dodging tax, guys. Yeah, just go after the most vulnerable people in society who literally have no money. Literally have no money. Let's just go after them, guys. You know, we gotta make sure that they're the real problem, obviously. Absolutely crazy. Cavalan, good morning to you. Hope you're doing well there. Anthony Banker, if I didn't there, good to see you there as well. Jeffrey Epstein abused me in his office. I know who UK police should speak to. Tesla Helmet said Jeffrey Epstein was aided by many other people, including women, and one of them was grooming her the whole time. So people within the UK police knew and did nothing about it, from the sounds of it. Cost of living, every council tax rise in England mapped, including highest and lowest attendees. UK must not follow Trump to destruction. We must, what we need to defend ourselves. Mandelson was showed highly classified material before passing security vetting. He has far too much influence, this guy. It's far too much influence. Any other stories here? The new PIP mistake making the DWP more suspicious of claimant than ever. Dangerous overdependence on AI tools leave disabled people users wrong or relevant information on their forms, says beneficiary advisories. They're using AI to determine whether people are entitled to claimants on PIP. They're using artificial intelligence. That's so unfair. Talking about life and death for some of them as well. Any other interesting stories? Trump is falling himself on Iran. Yep. Putin is coughing and croaking. This is what happens if he dies. And we know what's going to happen when he dies. It's going to be pandemonium in Russia. That's one thing. There's no successor to Putin. There is no successor to Putin. Yeah, we saw that story yesterday. I'm pretty sure. No, not yesterday. Day before. That was also an old story there. Yeah, all those other stories are old stories there from the iPaper. They're from the old stories there indeed. Let's have a look at the Independent, see what they're saying this morning here. The UK aid lacks clear priorities and often isn't valued for money. UK aid spending lacks clear priorities and often isn't valued for money, Watchdog warns. Aid spent on supporting refugees and asylum seekers in the UK, up to a fifth of the total budget, diverts funding away from government overseas priorities, according to an independent commission for aid impact. Britain's aid watchdog has hit out the government for running the UK's international development budget without an overarching strategy or set of priorities, warning that billions of intended to fight global poverty has been used to support refugees within the UK. A new report by the Independent Commission for Aid Impact, the ICAI, said the system was used to manage Britain's aid budget in recent years and had been overly focused on hitting a precise spending target rather than delivering clear development goals. Yeah, because they don't, they're not interested in doing more overseas. The review looked at how official development assistance, ODA, was distributed across government departments between 2021 and 2025. It found that decision-making often centred on ensuring the UK met its aid spending percentages rather than allocating money according to long-term priorities or evidence of value for money. At the same time, Britain cut spending from legally enshrined targets of 0.7% of national income to 0.5% in 2021 after the COVID-19 pandemic. In February last year, Prime Minister Keir Starmer then announced a further reduction to 0.3% from 2027 to fund further defence spending. The ICAI said these pressures have been compounded by the growing share of aid money used to cover the costs of supporting refugees and asylum seekers in the UK. In 2024, these costs reached £2.8 billion, around a fifth of the entire aid budget, and £1 billion more than Britain spent on humanitarian aid overseas during that year. The watchdog said combining these demand-driven domestic costs with overseas development spending had distorted policy choices and undermined transparency because asylum spending depends on the number of arrivals each year, and it can then force sudden changes elsewhere in the aid budget. This is true. Why are we using the aid budget when it comes to why are we using the aid budget? Why are we using the aid budget when it comes to people claiming asylum and coming to the UK? The aid budget is supposed to be for overseas. It's not supposed to be used here. Why are we even mixing it? As the aid budget shrinks and ministers have to make hard choices, independent scrutiny will be essential to ensure what remains on UK aid as it's delivering meaningful results for people who need it most, he said. And the thing is, and this is the thing that really infuriates me, right? If you're using the aid budget on numbers here, you obviously don't know what the numbers are going to be, and they can fluctuate. So people don't know what money they're going to be getting overseas. It's already difficult enough as it is for them. Under international rules set by the Organisation for Economic Cooperation and Development, the OECD, some of the costs supporting refugees during the first year in a host country can be counted as aid. However, ICAI said the UK had taken a broader interpretation of a number of comparable countries. The report found that the Home Office had used aid funds to cover large parts of the cost of renting asylum hotels, even when some rooms remained empty. What? ICAI estimates that nearly £50 million of aid money went towards unused hotel rooms in December 23 alone, equivalent to around £600 million across a full year. Wow. This is so infuriating because that's money. This is supposed to be money that's supposed to be used abroad, and they're using it, and they're using it for, on asylum seekers when it's supposed to be a separate budget, and they're mixing the budget. Mixing two different budgets there. I don't like it. Minister Sid Melson should donate £75,000 payout. Oh, this is a live feed here. Yeah, he should. He should. You know what he should do? He should give that £75,000 to victims of abuse. To charities that help out victims of abuse when it comes to rape and whatnot. That's where that money should go. Yeah, government ministers call on Peter Manson to hand over the money. Yeah, he should hand over the money. Greedy bastard. He should absolutely hand over the money. Peers vote to scrap non-crime hate instances. Peers vote to scrap non-crime hate instances months after Met Police said it would stop investigating them. Youth Action proposed non-crime part of the Christian Police and Bison bills. The cease investigating them. Lord Toby Allen fully proposed the abolition as part of the ongoing crime police legislative piece that still requires further time when it becomes law. These incidents are broadly defined as acts appearing motivated by hostility towards individuals based on specific protected characteristics such as race, religion, disability, gender, but which ultimately do not constitute a criminal offence. Last year confirmed it will no longer investigate such cases, notably after dropping a high-profile probe into social media posts concerning father to create Lindsay Gore. I told the Telegraph she would actually say non-crime instances changed. Absolutely. She added, the question is, what do you do instead? Moving the Hughes Amendment on Wednesday. Place a statutory limit on what non-crime the police can investigate for you for and record against your name is not just in the interest of noble friends on the side of the house. Political wind can change. So yeah, people make threats and whatnot on. I'm assuming that non-crime we're talking about people who make threats. Is that? I suppose that does that count as non-crime? I'm not sure if I'm totally on board with that. Iran's plans for surprise drone attack on US soil intercepted by the FBI apparently. US panel says racist hate speech by Trump and other US leaders has led to human rights something there. Trump official rushed to heavily guard military base after Epstein threat. Newsom gave a scathing resort after Trump questions governor's cohesive ability. Well, it's kind of that falls flat on its face. Yeah, going on talking to Gavin Newsom about coherence. I mean, he's not a good guy in any way, shape, or form. But it's funny to hear that from Donald Trump. You know. Warning criminals are exploiting AI after record number of UK scams. Yeah, you got to be careful with that. Celebrity dog trainer sues government for £8 million over HS2 upheaval. Lloyd's technical glitch shows other users' transactions to customers. Yeah, that's very worrying indeed. Outdoor centre forced to rehome beloved therapy pig after council row. What the hell? Officials deem the animals leisure centre rather than agricultural, which breaches planning rules. Leisure centre rather than animal. What the? So an outdoor activity centre in Dorset has been forced to rehome its beloved cocoon pigs after council officials deemed them leisure animals rather than agricultural, citing planning breaches and social media activity. James Short, who runs Adventure Pirate near Minsker, had introduced the three pigs to a plot of land adjacent to his education business, which had previously housed animals. However, when he began advertising pig walking and pig therapy for his predominant child customers on social media, Dorset Council intervened. Council officers informed Mr. Scott that the pigs were no longer classified as agricultural livestock, but as leisure pigs, and he lacked the necessary permission to keep them. They also raised concerns about a pig's walk trail Mr. Short had started building, saying it was detrimental to the green belt land. Mr. Short, 42, said he attempted to reason with Dorset Council, offering to revert to keep the pigs solely for agricultural purposes for his family. Despite this, officials insist the pigs had to be removed, leading to their rehoming. Offered bushcraft and survival skill courses alongside activities such as air rifle. Father of two had secured permission to change the site to leisure use for his activity business. However, he fell foul of enforcement officials because the pigs' pens were suited to about 16 feet outside the approved boundaries on land designated as agricultural. Oh my god, this is so over the top. We had a really cool glamping setting up two ship huts. They was refusing our appeal was dismissed, so he couldn't. His appeal was thrown out as well. That sucks. The council said that because they wanted to do the pig therapy, the animals were not agriculture; they were leisure pigs. They have used our social media against us. We ran a poll asking people to help name the final. Yeah, so the moment he put it on social media, the council went after him, basically. Yeah, Mr. Scott described the enforcement process as aggressive. Yeah, this seems like, have the council not got better things to do? Like, I feel like the council's not got better things to do here than to go after people. Dorset Council stated they could not discuss a live investigation. Ugh. This is an. I don't know who's in the council who went after them, but I just think it's just completely over the top. Like this is not. It's not like the pigs are being abused. It looks like they're being well looked. Like from my interpretation, there, it looks like they're being well looked after there. Bees can breathe underwater for a week. Scientists discover. Interesting. That's an interesting story there. Apparently that's a fascinating one there indeed. Right, got about 9 minutes left before we hit lunchtime. Let's have a look and see what the BBC are saying here. A weirdly rushed appointment from other key takeaways from Mandelson's file. What else they got there? Someone's wrong reputational risk. We know that. No suggestion Mandelson was an issue in Trump's White House. At the time he was hired, Sakir said Lord Mandelson would bring unrivaled experience to his role. One email from the document suggests Karen Price, the UK's former ambassador to the US, had provided a report on her call with Mike Waltz, Trump's national security advisor at the time. Following this, there were no suggestions that Peter's nomination was an issue in the Trump PCD email said. Government had told the British President in context meant press conference, although it's unclear what Trump's press conference email referring to. Yet we know about this. Mandelson asked for $500,000 payout. Senior advisor thoroughly report was weirdly rushed. Elsewhere in the documents, the Prime Minister's National Security Advisor, Jonathan Powell, said he found the appointment of Lord Mandelson weirdly rushed. Powell was noted to have raised concerns about individual reputation to Sakir's former Chief of Staff, Morgan McSweeney. These comments were included in a fact-finding call between Powell and the Prime Minister's lawyer, Mike Osamar, the day after Lord Mandelson's sacking on September the 11th. Powell worked extensively alongside Peter Mandelson's primary as Chief of Staff to the Prime Minister during Tony Blair's premiership. He's now a powerful advisor to Keir, and his opinion would have carried some weight in government if he had expressed those views during the appointment process. There is no suggestion of wrongdoing by Lord Mandelson. Weirdly rushed. The Epstein meeting with Tony Blair. Document also contained emails showing Lord Mandelson had a role in arranging a meeting between Blair and Epstein in 2002. As if, didn't hate Tony Blair enough, guys. He actually met Epstein. I'd like to meet him. Brief of Tony. The BBC confirmed in 2025 that the meeting did take place, so that they did have a meeting. Spokesperson for Sir Tony says, as far as we can remember, Mr. Blair met with him for less than 30 minutes in Downing Street in 2002 and discussed US and UK politics, and never met or engaged with him subsequently. This was, of course, long before his crimes were known and the subsequent convictions. Yeah, of course, people of Tony Blair, I would have to say that. What we know and what we don't know, yeah. Union cuts Labour's funding by 40% over bin strikes. The Unite Union has voted to cut the affiliated fee it pays to Labour by 40% over the party's actions relating to striking bin workers in Birmingham. The union says that £580,000 decrease from its previous funding levels of £1.5 million was unprecedented and revealed the anger of its members a year from the starting of the all-out industrial action in the city. Sharon Graham, workers are scratching their heads as whose side Labour are on. Labour Park spokesperson said it's incredibly frustrating that the bins dispute has not yet been resolved. Unite could and should end the strikes. No, you need to get off your arse and get round the table. You're saying it's on the Labour, on the unions. Labour added it was proud to be funded by party members, trade union members, donors and affiliates. Yeah, donors. It did not donate. The 40% funding cut will be concern parties inside already worried about the state of Labour's finances. Despite attracting more individual and corporate donors ahead of last election, the most recent figures suggest the party's overall net asset were at their lowest since 2014. And the party's account for 2014 showed a deficit of 3.76 million, almost up fourfold from the previous year. Unite said it would be escalating the Birmingham bin strike because the actions of Labour against Birmingham bin workers will not continue to be tolerated. When asked by the BBC what further escalation would involve, Unite was unable to give any details. It said residents and workers suffered, while the council differed around the deal already scoped out in Coalition Service Atlas. Birmingham City Council said it would start a new waste collection regime in the summer, including a reinstated cycling service, even if the strike action continued. So they're literally they're basically just going to ignore them and start their own one. Let's be clear, the council made a series of offers to Unite to end the strikes, but they've all been rejected. My message, those still taking industrial action since will come back to work. I want you to be able to work with part of this and our new improved service. Our doors remain open. He claims Unite were being unreasonable in demanding significant lump sums which are unjustifiable. Mohammed added every household got a weekly weight collection with about 1,300 tonnes collected curbside every day. United Avenue Labour's incompetent behaviour in Birmingham follows a failed economic strategy and has left an industry base fighting for its life. So they're literally going to set up a new one outside the union. They're going to set up a new one outside the union. Rather than actually talk to the unions and compromise, they're just going to ignore them. Absolutely terrible. Guys, we're only a couple minutes away. Can we get to the Super Chat goal? If anyone can help get us over the line, be greatly appreciated there. No, you're fine, Mel. You don't need to apologise. You're fine there. What else is there here? Sorry, I'm getting reflux again, guys. Apologies. MPs warn of risks for Mandelson. Yet we know about that. March organised by Iran-linked group banned after police request. Fuel tax rise, fuel hikes would be kept under review. Jury restriction plan clears first hurdle. Yeah, we talked about that yesterday. What's the front of BBC got? Lloyd Banks, yep, show customers, users. Yeah, we saw that. Hundreds of GPs tell BBC that they have never refused a fit note of mental health concerns. That's what GPs are claiming there. Student loan inquiry to look at whether the system is unfair. Touched on that a little bit earlier, didn't we? Weather warnings. War companies to pay £45 million after excessive sewage spills. My phone contents were shared with the police colleagues I accused of rape. That's in Scotland, that story. Social media firm asks to toughen up age checks for under 13s. Yeah, but, you know, getting them to do that is another problem there. That's the other problem, is getting them to actually do it. How I lost my suitcase led to 2-year, 4,500 legal wrangling with Ryanair. Oh, my God. Failed to discover the suitcase did not arrive. Did not expect the fight for compensation would still be going on for 2.5 years. Despite Edinburgh Sheriff Court ordering Ryanair to pay almost $4,500 last July, she's yet to receive anything from the airline. Took the court to action after months of what she described as fruitless emails and complaints. Ryanair did not originally engage with the court action, but the airline has now appealed against the decision, stating that Roselle failing to complain upon her arrival in Copenhagen is something she disputes. Wow. Ryanair are desperate not to pay out for this. This is disgusting. Self-described Mrs. just in case she had a lot of package for her 5-day night, including her running gear, headphones, tablet, computers, and nicest clothes. Going away for a trip, you take your good stuff with you, she said. When her suitcase did not arrive, Danish French travel they informed the staff at the airport and spoke to the lost property. Said they were told Rose's case had never left Edinburgh and that it would be sent to the house they were staying in for a few days. This never happened, despite losing all her tech and clothes. She was most upset to lose her flag. She lost her flag as well. The flight return so went straight to Ryanair's desk where Rosie was given a reference number for her loss. Ryanair then sent claim forms required. The process took days. Couple one either 5 receipts for everything in the case something argued put online. They never found the case. Wow. Ryanair told them to submit the claim. Yeah, it sounds like Ryanair were running a ring around the roses here. Court ordered Ryanair to pay $4,000 compensation, and they still haven't paid it out. And they're obviously appealing it because they're trying everything. This is how vile they are. They should just pay out the money and just accept it. But you know, this is Ryanair we're talking about here. BBC's decision to axe LGBTQ plus dating show is 2 steps back, says contestant. Why would you axe LGBTQ plus date there? Why would you do that? Why would you do such a thing? That doesn't make sense to me. Why would you do such a thing? Absolutely terrible. It's absolutely terrible. Guys, we've run to the end of the show, but just before we do, there was some... thank you, Viper Scott, for the £2 super chat just to get to the goal. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. For the indigestion meds, it's Martin Howard. Thank you so much, Martin. It's good to see you there. Hope you are doing well. I've got Gaviscon. I'm going to take some in a bit. There. Thank you, Viper Scott, again for the £2 super chat just to get to the goal. Thank you so much for that. Appreciate it there. There. Confetti. Yep. Confetti. Thank Confetti. Sorry. I'm just going to wave my hands. That's my Confetti, guys. It's the best I can do. Sorry. Ryanair scared of settling the president. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Because so many people will come after them, won't they? Yeah. I think that's definitely it, Billy. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Viper Scott, for sending one gifted membership there to Rostanago there. Thank you so much for that. Thank you again. You've been very generous this morning. Thank you. I appreciate that. And Scott Hayes, thank you for the £2 super chat. Something for the DPR. Yep, something for the gang here. The gang are here. They are here indeed. And they'll be here tonight, guys. They'll be here tonight because tonight we have the Eco Flake Show. That's right, guys. Myself and One Angry Pagan. We'll be talking about all things when it comes to the environment, green energy. I'm sure we're going to discuss the situation around the oil prices, the price of oil and whatnot, because it does affect the environment and green energy. So all that kind of stuff, guys, is what we do on the show. So do join us tonight at 8 o'clock for that if you can. If you can't make it, I'll be back live again tomorrow at 11 o'clock. As well as 3 o'clock tomorrow on Friday, we have the 3-year anniversary show, which is 3 years as a YouTuber. I officially started as a YouTuber 3 years ago tomorrow. So if you can join me for that show, feel free to do so. We'll be going 2 hours long from 3 to 5 o'clock, going right into Friday Frolics tomorrow. So that's also a reminder there. So do check that out. You can go onto the home tab of my YouTube channel, and it shows you where I'm going to be going live next, guys. That's the best way to check out as well. But we've run out of time here, gone over the time, guys. So thank you guys again all for coming. Thank you guys for all your comments. Thank you for those who gave gifted memberships, Viper Scott, and those who gave super chats today. Really appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of your days, whatever you're doing. But on your way out, if you can for me, just before you go, hit the like button, share across social media, subscribe if you haven't already. Check out Rumble on Patreon, and links are down below as well. And thank you all again so much for watching, and I hope to catch you all very, very soon.